The Pac-12 is in bad shape. The wait should be over. The time is now. The Big 12 should be adding schools. The Pac-12 schools they should be adding should be accepting. There's really no other choice at this point in time, it feels like, unless you like taking less money and you don't like a very clear future. We'll explain more on today's show.
You are Locked On Big 12, your daily podcast on the Big 12 Conference, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Josh Neighbors here, Locked On Big 12 podcast. It's the 10th of April, 8:07 p.m. Central Time when I'm recording this. The reason being, number one, I played in my radio station's golf tournament today, so couldn't record during the day after my show that I work in the morning. Had to go to the golf tournament, had to play in that, 18 holes, had a fun time. But a lot of news came out today over the course of the weekend as well, too. And it feels like we're trending in a certain direction. We'll explain that all on today's show. Make sure you guys follow us on Twitter at LOBig12. You guys can find me at JoshNeighbors_. Make sure you guys subscribe to the channel here, Locked On Big 12. Subscribe, tell your friends, like the videos. Also, leave comments as well. Love your all's comments. We are brought to you today by HelloFresh, our friends there, new sponsor of the show. So thanks to them. All right, let's get to it. So we had the CW news over the weekend that the CW was in contract to us, but they're interested in the Pac-12. They have been purchased recently by a new company, I believe. I think there are different companies that own the CW. I think CBS is like 12.5%, but whoever bought them now wants sports. Obviously, the Live Tour golf tournament, golf league is on there too. Bad, red flag. Also, we got some news today that Jamie, I want to say it's Zanovich. Yeah, I think it's right. Whatever it is leaving. The deputy commissioner of the Pac-12 is leaving the conference. And there was some heat in other places. Andrew Marchand said, watch Colorado when it comes to this. And so I'm not even going to focus that much on like that part of this. I'm just going to go here. And I've been saying this for a while, folks. Once again, I am not a newsmaker. I follow the stories. I give you all my reaction. But here is where I'm going with this. When the Pac-12 presidents came out a few weeks ago and said, we're approaching a deal, we feel comfortable, we're in a good range, I also read their comments saying, we think we're going to like the number that we see. We're pretty confident in that. Their statement was like, we are together and we think we're going to keep going forward together. And I said this, if you had a deal, you would announce one. If you had something important to tell us, you would tell us. But you don't. You keep telling us that something important is going to happen, that we are going to stay together because a deal will happen, and we're pretty confident in that. The only person was the Arizona president, Robin Roberts, who felt like they were semi-authentic and real and honest about what's happening right now. And I said, Colorado's been quiet. So they're kind of off the hook on all of this. We talked to Kevin, the new Locked On Buffs host, and he said, hey, look, like they're pretty quiet about this. They're kind of, trying to figure out what the solution is going to be. They're kind of there for the Pac-12, but like, we know we're not all the way out. We're not out there with the presidents and whatnot. So all of this is happening, but none of that was affirmative other than like, we are together. We think we're going to like what we're going to get, but we're out here together. And then we get the news last week, the deal. Well, we're looking at late spring, early summer. So your entire pro Pac-12 media tour has just kind of been shot down because you know what? It's not really coming. We just thought it might come. But in the words of Stu Mandel, who I think is reporting has been pretty well Pac-12 sourced, the same way Dennis Dodd's reporting has been very well Big 12 sourced, the same way Brett McMurphy's is very much Big 12 sourced, the same way John Wilner and John Canzano's has been Pac-12 sourced, right? If you read between the lines, you can see that. Comes out there and says they kind of overestimated. And it's like, well, did they, or were they fronting? Were they putting, were they trying to approach the grizzly bear in the woods and saying, making the noises, saying, we are big enough. We are here. We can face the grizzly bear. We're making noise and we're trying to chase that bear. I guess the bear being conference destruction, not necessarily just the Big 12 coming at your door, chasing that away. The bear's still circling. He might have backed off for a second, but the bear is still there because there's no deal there. And the CW is being mentioned all of a sudden. Folks, this is heading in a direction that was like, well, I guess they're saying this, so it could be true, but where are the monetary numbers to back this up? And also, where is the security of the league to back this up? It's not there. It's not there. It's never been there. And so my question now is this, is that I understand why conferences want to stay together. I get it. I get why Arizona and ASU want to stay with Oregon and Oregon State and Washington State and Stanford and Cal, all that stuff. I get that, man. I get it. But at what point does another delay plus the CW being involved, plus one of the guys who apparently was George Kliavkov's right-hand man in negotiations being scooted away or, take another job. Take another job at like what sounds like kind of almost a startup, Trailblazer. Not sure what Trailblazer is, but his first job at Trailblazer is he is going to work on the Pac-12 deal. This is bad news. It's not good news. I'm tired of being told, well, don't read too much. Because here's the thing, guys, you all know me. I have been as much as possible trying to be quiet on pulling the trigger. I am not here to be like, it's going down, it's happening. I have been saying the entire time, these schools want to remain together. And that's number one thing. The desire to remain together is the most important thing. But if you are a president, it's extremely difficult to keep dealing with this. All of these changing factors have to be so hard to deal with. On the other hand, we have to respect this idea too. For a president to leave a conference, and Jason Scheer has made this point. I don't agree with everything Jason says. I don't agree with him kind of, making fun of John Canzano on Twitter. I don't like that. I don't think that's where we should be right now. But to leave the Pac-12, to take your school to the Big 12 is a brave move. That takes, and I'm not trying to be hyperbolic, courage. Think about what it means to be a conference commissioner or a school president. That is a position where a lot of times status quo is good. Make some small changes. Talk about how forward, we're making big changes. We're forward thinking. But really, you're building buildings. You're getting donations. You're trying to move things forward. You're trying to work in conference with an athletic director. Changing a conference is a massive move. It is a difficult move. It is a brave and bold move. It's sometimes a move that doesn't always work out 110%. But at this point, you've been dragged along. You have been dragged along. Oklahoma State, Iowa State, West Virginia, Kansas, Kansas State, Texas Tech, Baylor, TCU, Houston, BYU, Cincinnati, UCF. I'm sorry if I forgot anybody else. I'm just going through the top of my head and not looking at anything right now. We're playing on ESPN. We're playing on ESPN Plus, ESPN2, ESPNU, football and basketball. We're going to be on Fox. We're going to see the Big 12 on Fox Sports 1. They're going all those places. Where are you going? Where do you want to be? At what point are we just like, where are you going? Where do you want to be? Because the Pac-12, man, whatever it is, it's a Band-Aid. At this point, it could, if they get a $31.2 million or $31.6, 7, $32 million a year deal on the CW, congratulations to you all. I'd be shocked, but congratulations to you all to be on the CW and the CW, whatever CW supporting networks are. Congratulations. But how is that a long-term fix? The Big Ten is on it's on Fox, CBS, NBC. ESPN has the SEC. ESPN has the ACC. ESPN and Fox together have the Big 12. Where are you a Power 5 league? Oh, you're on the CW. Right. And how long is that going to last for? Right. So we have to, this is about getting serious now. Like, the deal's been pushed back. The CW's involved, and one of the head guys involved is now leaving the conversation. I cannot guarantee, I can't guarantee you guys that the Big 12 could give Arizona more money in 2023, 2024, 2025, 2020, whatever you want to go to, the next TV deal ends 2030, than the Pac-12 was. I feel pretty confident, though, at this point in time, they can give you more security. Oregon and Washington will not want to be involved in this. Guys, Oregon and Washington have been in playoff games. Oregon has won college football playoff games. I'm not sure going to the CW in Phil Knight's potentially final years on this earth, and by all accounts, he wants a national championship. We can see it badly by the recruiting. We can see it badly by how well they're doing it in the NIL space. That's probably not the move. Recognition-wise, visibility-wise, recruiting-wise, all those things are tied together. I know that. But, that's not really the move. $31 million a year, whatever it is, in a league that seems to be sinking, that its best edition in San Diego State, and it's we can't even get that done because San Diego State would be in the conference by now. They already had a television deal, but they don't. They don't have a TV deal. They don't have one. They'd be in the league by now, but they don't have a TV deal. Why is San Diego State not they're a obvious ad? Why are they not? Because there's no freaking TV deal and they're not unified. It's been obvious the whole time. We've been looking at it right now the whole time. And look, it's about, we'd give it time. They're out there saying unify, give them a chance. But we gave them a chance. You all tried to play us, and we gave you all some space. We gave the Pac-12, the presidents, and whatnot some room to breathe. But guess what? Either one of two things happened. Number one, they knew it was coming, the delay, or number two, they were played. So either they try to play us, the general public, or they got played themselves. One of the two of those things happened because you can't go out one week and say, we're close. We like number, we could beat the Big 12 and then go, you know what? Actually, it's going to be early summer before, or late spring, early summer before we get our deal done. Now the CW is involved. And now one of your top brass has just gone to Trailblazer. Once again, it's a brave move to leave your conference. It's a very brave move, but it's a move you have to make at this point. The Pac-12, you can't guarantee this thing's going to be wrong. But I was texting Robbie Toronto about this today. We were texting about what potentially could happen here. And just, he said, even if they don't leave, I don't know how anyone could be optimistic about the future of the conference. The deal for the Pac-12 was just duct tape for a quick fix instead of anything that will last. They are, what. And Robbie's right. And Robbie works in this space 3 hours, not just 3 hours a day. He plans a show out. So he's doing more Big 12 stuff than I am now. I used to be Big 12 today and then this show. But, on XM, 3 hours a day, Big 12, they're screwed, man. They're screwed. Their backs are against the wall. They've got no leverage. People are leaving. The CWs, guys, Riverdale, One Tree Hill. A Gossip Girl. Fine television shows, not sports. Live Golf. Who is watching? If you watch Live Golf out there, please let me know because I don't know anybody who is watching this. That's your cable option right now. And look, if they give them $32 million a year, God love them. God love them for knocking that out of the park. God love them for that. But folks, where are you headed with this? Look, I'm not saying I said it's the time now for Brett Yormark last week. The pitch has been made. You kind of just have to make the call at this point. Why wouldn't you? How much longer are you going to allow your feet? And here's the reason why Colorado makes a lot of sense. You've been there before. You were fine there before. You left the Pac-12, sure, whatever, right? You could thrive there. You like where your football program is. You have to turn on basketball, but you like where your football program is right now. And man, I think Coach Prime will be there more than 1 year. Where do you want to be in 2024? Because you got no guarantees right now. Tell me about, let's see, hold on, let me be able to check this. Colorado football schedule. 2024. All right, folks, we're going to it. 2024. Let's see. Colorado's got North Dakota State, at Nebraska, and at Colorado State. Somebody tell me where those football games will be televised. Anybody? Bueller. You can't tell me because you know why? They're not scheduled anywhere. They're not. Nebraska, Colorado will probably be picked up by Fox, right? But like North Dakota State at home, at Colorado State, you got no guarantees on any of them. But like, who is going to pick up these games? You don't have a TV partner. I mean, somebody will, but like, you don't have a TV partner right now. You don't know where they might be, where fans can watch them. And if you look at the numbers for Colorado, they have got momentum, whether it be their spring game attendance, season ticket attendance, the transfer portal, preseason rankings, what people are saying about them. The program is up. Do you want to be in a conference that's a sinking ship, or do you want to be in the conference where, guess what? Last 3 years, we've said, who in the hell is going to win this thing? It's been somebody different each year. It's been 6 separate teams in the championship games. And by the way, Iowa State, Oklahoma, close game. Baylor versus Oklahoma State, game was solved by inches. TCU and Kansas State, the game was also solved by inches. Do you want to be in a league where you could be if it just you build the right roster, you have the right coaching, you're there in the championship game and potentially inches away, like all of these teams, right? Baylor, a few inches away from losing. Kansas State, a few inches away from losing. Iowa State, one bad interception away from potentially winning the game. Like, all of these things are true about this league. Do you want to be in a league where that's possible? Or do you want to be in a league where we're not sure where the hell we're playing on television? By the way, the 2 schools that could be the crown jewels of us beating, Washington and Oregon, along with Utah. Utah's there too. But they could be gone, and they probably want to be gone. Guys, this is a bad spot. There's no way around this. I've tried to stay away from the doomsday because I've been saying the entire time, they want us together. That is important. It's powerful. But how much more, if you're a president, can you take? Make the brave move to the Big 12 so we can all be done. It's to the point now where it does not make much. Like, being on the CW would be ridiculous. It would be ridiculous. It would show how far if Oregon football is playing on the CW after reruns of Riverdale and One Tree Hill, just scrap the program. Don't even do it. There's no point in coming out if you sign up for that, besides staying alive. But that program should not be trying to stay alive. If you know what, we're waiting for Oregon versus Stanford to end so we can go and watch reruns of Gossip Girl, which is a great television show. We can go and watch reruns of Gossip Girl. My girlfriend, God love her. She's a wonderful, wonderful woman. Cassie Florido. Love you to the end of the earth, girl. It's not discount at all, but she's like, I told her this. I said, they might be on the CW. And she goes, it's where like Riverdale is, right? One Tree Hill's there, aren't they? I was like, yeah, I think Gossip Girl's on there too. And she just goes, and just like laughs. And just laughs. And they should laugh. Because the worldwide leader in sports is ESPN. Fox Sports, big time player. The CW has Live Golf, the 3-round Saudi-backed golf league that pays for airtime. You don't want to be on that channel. Newsflash, you don't want to be. Could you imagine? I saw Bronny James. Bronny James might go to Oregon. Coming up in the CW, we've got Riverdale, and Bronny James makes his college debut against Colorado State and Oregon's non-conference opener. Catch that after the season finale of the reboot of Gossip Girl. Give me a break. Join the freaking Big 12. Join the league. It's a risk. It's a hard, but like it's a better option than what you're facing right now. How is it not? How is it not? It's just hard to see that it's not. It's hard. Guys, today's show is brought to you all by our friends at FanDuel. FanDuel, we'll see if we can get the folks to reach out and give them some odds on how many teams the Pac-12 had in a few weeks. Because I feel like we're at the point now where it has to be talked about. But FanDuel.com/lockedon is where you all want to go to bet on, like, will I blow a gasket about all this? Because it feels like it's time, and we're dragging our feet here, folks, the Pac-12. So once again, FanDuel.com/lockedon today. Go there. You guys can get up to $1,000 back on your first bet. So you guys go ahead and do that risk-free today. FanDuel.com/lockedon. All right, folks. That will do it for today's show. Spencer McLaughlin coming up tomorrow. Robbie Triano recording with him tomorrow. David Smoke, we're doing that one too pretty soon here. So a lot to get to in terms of the state of play, if you will. Follow us on Twitter at LOBig12. You guys can find me at @JoshNeighbors_. Was hot tonight. Was coming out hot. Just had the golf tournament. Had a beverage too. It's great. A lot of fun. Once again, guys, appreciate you all supporting the show. Till next time, my friends, as always, stay safe.